Hi everyone, welcome back to Rian English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for joining us again. Today's episode is all about something that almost every English learner struggles with: fear. Specifically, the fear of speaking English. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Exactly. The title of today's podcast says it all. Speak English without fear. We're going to talk about why people are afraid to speak, how that fear holds them back, and, most importantly, how to overcome it.
This is such an important topic. I've seen so many students who understand grammar, vocabulary, even complex topics. But when it's time to speak, they completely freeze.
I've seen that too. And honestly, I used to be that person when I was learning another language. I could understand everything, but my mouth just wouldn't cooperate when I needed to talk.
Same here. I studied Spanish for years, but when I finally went to Spain, I realized I was too scared to speak. I thought, what if I sound stupid? What if I make mistakes?
Yes, that fear of embarrassment, it's powerful. And it doesn't only happen to beginners. Even intermediate and advanced learners feel it sometimes.
Let's start by digging into where that fear comes from. Why do people feel afraid to speak English?
I think it starts with how we learn languages in school. Most systems focus on reading and writing, but not real communication. So people grow up thinking English is something they have to get perfect before using it.
Right. In school, we're taught that mistakes equal failure. You lose marks, you get corrected, you feel embarrassed. And that mindset sticks with you.
Exactly. But in real life, mistakes are how you learn. Every fluent speaker you know made hundreds of mistakes before they got comfortable.
Totally. Think about how kids learn their first language. They make so many mistakes, but nobody laughs at them. Instead, people encourage them to keep going.
But as adults, we start worrying about how we sound, what others think, and whether our grammar is perfect. We forget that communication isn't about perfection, it's about connection.
That's such an important point. You can have perfect grammar, but if you're too afraid to use it, it doesn't help much.
Absolutely. So, the first step to speaking English without fear is to understand that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be understood.
And that's the mindset shift most people need. From I must be perfect to I just want to express myself.
Another big reason people fear speaking English is the fear of being judged.
Oh, yes, that one's huge. People worry others will laugh at their accent or correct them all the time.
Right. But here's the truth. Most people don't care about your mistakes, especially native speakers. They just want to understand you.
Exactly. And most native speakers actually admire you for trying to speak their language.
Yes, when I hear someone speaking English as a second language, I always think, wow, that's amazing. It shows effort, courage, and intelligence.
But when you're the one speaking, it feels different. You're hyper aware of every little mistake, even though no one else notices them.
That's called the spotlight effect. You think everyone's focusing on you, but really, they're not.
Yes, people are too busy thinking about themselves, so worrying about what they think is a waste of energy.
Exactly. So if you're afraid others will judge you, remember, they probably don't even notice your small mistakes.
And even if they do, it doesn't matter. It's part of the process. Every mistake brings you closer to fluency.
Let's talk about something specific. Speaking to native speakers. A lot of learners say they can talk to other learners easily, but when they face a native speaker, they panic.
Yes, that's so common. I've heard students say, I can talk to my classmates fine, but when I meet an American or British person, my mind goes blank.
I think it's because native speakers often talk fast, use slang, or have accents learners aren't used to. It's intimidating.
True, but it's also a great opportunity. The more you expose yourself to native English, the easier it becomes.
Yes, listening is key. Watch shows, podcasts, YouTube videos, anything that helps you get used to real life English.
And if you talk to a native speaker, don't pretend to understand everything. It's okay to say, sorry, can you say that again? Or what does that mean?
Absolutely. Communication is a two-way street. You don't have to fake understanding just to look smart.
Right. And guess what? Native speakers ask for repetition too.
Exactly. So it's not about being perfect, it's about being clear and honest in the conversation.
Right. So now let's talk about building confidence, because fear disappears when confidence grows.
100%. Confidence doesn't come before speaking, it comes from speaking.
Exactly. You can't wait until you feel confident to start speaking. You build confidence by practicing, even when you're scared.
Yes, that's the secret. You have to speak through the fear. Every time you talk, even if you make mistakes, you get stronger.
It's like going to the gym. You can't get stronger by reading about exercise. You have to lift the weights.
I love that analogy. Speaking English is the same. You have to use your mouth muscles, your brain, your ears, all together.
And it's okay if you sound awkward at first. Everyone does. But it gets better the more you do it.
One great tip is to start small. Talk to yourself, record your voice, repeat after movies, or speak in front of a mirror.
Yes, or talk to an AI assistant, a language partner, or join an online English group.
There are so many options now. You don't even have to live in an English-speaking country to practice daily.
The key is consistency. A few minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a month.
Definitely. Make English part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth or drinking coffee.
You know, I had a student named Maria from Brazil. She was terrified of speaking English at work because she thought her accent was bad.
Oh, I've had similar students too. What happened with her?
I told her to record short voice messages to me every day, just 30 seconds. In the beginning, she was nervous, but after a few weeks, she sounded completely different.
That's amazing. Did her coworkers notice the change?
Yes, they started asking her to join meetings more often because she seemed more confident.
That's such a great example. Confidence really changes how people see you.
Exactly. And I remember she told me later, Jack, my English didn't suddenly become perfect. I just stopped being afraid.
That's powerful. Fear holds us back way more than grammar mistakes ever do.
Totally. Do you have a story like that, Emma?
I do. I had a student from Japan who was so shy. She barely spoke in class, but she started keeping an English journal, writing what she wanted to say, then reading it out loud to herself.
Oh, that's a great idea.
After a few months, she started volunteering to speak in meetings at work. She told me she didn't feel ready, but she spoke anyway, and everyone understood her perfectly.
That's such a good example of speaking despite the fear.
Let's talk about mindset for a moment, because speaking English confidently is as much about mindset as it is about skill.
Totally. If you believe you can't do it, you won't. But if you believe you can, you'll find ways to improve.
I like to remind students that confidence is not about being the best, it's about being comfortable with being imperfect.
That's beautifully said. Confidence is quiet. It's not shouting, I'm fluent. It's being okay with saying, I'm still learning.
Yes, exactly. Real confidence means you don't let mistakes define you.
I think a great mindset shift is this. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough to speak English, think, speaking English helps me become better.
That's such a powerful reframe. Every time you speak, you grow.
And every conversation, even the awkward ones, is a step towards fluency.
Absolutely. So don't avoid the fear, walk through it. That's where growth happens.
Let's address a few practical fears our listeners might have.
Sure.
Fear number 1, people will laugh at my accent.
Oh, that's a big one. But guess what? Your accent is part of your identity. It shows where you come from. You don't need to erase it.
Exactly. Everyone has an accent, even native speakers. A British accent is different from an American or Australian one.
So instead of worrying about having an accent, focus on being clear.
Yes, clarity over perfection.
What's another common fear?
I don't know enough words.
Right, but you don't need big words to communicate. Simple English is powerful.
Exactly. Some of the best communicators use short, clear sentences.
And if you forget a word, just explain it another way. Like if you forget umbrella, you can say the thing you use when it rains.
That's creativity, and that's real communication.
So, Jack, if you had to give one piece of advice to someone who's afraid to speak English, what would it be?
I'd say, speak anyway. Don't wait until you're ready because you'll never feel ready. Just start. The fear will fade as you practice.
That's great advice. I'd add, be kind to yourself. Learning a language is a journey, not a race. Celebrate progress, not perfection.
Beautifully said. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
Exactly. So speak with courage, not fear.
Right. You don't need perfect English. You just need the confidence to share your ideas.
And that's what this podcast is all about, helping you find your voice in English.
Well said.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode of Speak English Without Fear.
We hope this inspired you to take that next step, to speak more even when it's uncomfortable.
Because that's how you grow. Thanks for listening, and remember, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. Until next time, stay confident and keep talking.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!